Hey guys, welcome back to my temple. Um, so today I just wanted to talk about what I had to do as a neophyte. And the neophyte is the first grade that you go through when you first start. When I was talking about the tour of the temple in the last video, and I said that was the one where you basically weren't working with any elemental grades. You had to basically see if you were even willing to show up. So the way you did that was you sat in this chair, and what I did was for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is like the time I usually do for most um, minor tasks or whatever. And then it's essentially the first breathing exercise. And you sit in that chair and you basically breathe at a rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold it 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you hold that 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're basically going and then you basically are keeping that pattern. And it's basically teaching you how to get into a rhythm of breathing and getting to a trance state. Because the first thing you really need to do is get into a trance state. And the easiest way to do that is through rhythmic breathing. So you do that, and then after a while, when you get used to that, you start the visualization where you feel the pores in your skin all opening up. And as you breathe in, you feel all this light and energy absorbing into you from your skin and into your bones. And when you breathe out, all the bad energy goes out of your pores, almost like a black smoke. And, that's basically just a way to start training you how to identify with the subtle energy and how to take in the positive divine, and how to release the bad, negative, quote unquote. It's not really bad energy. Think of it as like the poop from you. It's not really good for you, but to the earth, it's great. So if you think of it in that aspect, you're basically giving the earth all the negative energy back to it so it can be recycled, and then, go back and blah, 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 blah. I don't want to get too much into that. But essentially, you're getting rid of your bad energy and trying to get good energy. And then when you're done with that, you stand in the center, and you basically imagine yourself getting taller, getting bigger. You get bigger than the house, and then you get even bigger than that. You get bigger than the state, and then you notice that the world is starting to get small, and pretty soon the world is literally a speck at your feet. And then you get even bigger than that, and bigger than that, and then you're as big as the solar system, and then you get even bigger than that, and you're as big as the unknown universe. But in this scenario, it's almost like the universe is draped over you, so you can't get out of it. You're stuck in this material world. The whole point of this is that we are not made of divine light. We are made of darkness. The best we can do is we have a holy spark within each of us that through proper training can be released so that we can shine our bright light through our darkness. That is the goal. So anyways, you get really big, you feel so then you imagine a big ball of light about half the diameter of a basketball right above your head. And that is the source of all life. It is a ball of white brilliance. If you can imagine the most white, brilliant, amazing light ever. It's right, literally just bobbing up above your head. So you reach up into your. Well, I'm not going to get all into the details. I'll do another video where I literally break down every individual step. But essentially, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram, and that's the beginning part of it. So once you've basically expanded your energy, and then you're doing the cross, and that also leads into the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. And I do believe that is all you actually have to, quote unquote, do any form of like energy work. I believe it's just the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram. Not true. Then you have to do the middle pillar. And the middle pillar exercise is where you sit in the circle in the center, and you face the west, and you sit there and you draw the light down your spine, and you basically create a pillar of energy that is within your body. Once you do that, then you are supposed to do the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram again. And the reason you're doing the lesser banishing ritual of the pentagram is for two reasons. One, it's to activate your energy so that you basically are turning on your engine, so to speak. And for two, it's to purify and cleanse and protect your space. Because when you are calling upon the four archangels, and you have the pentagrams, and you have your sphere of light, that is not just to protect yourself from negative thoughts or negative energy or negative magnetism, but it is also to prevent any outside forces from entering as well, whatever that may be. So anyways, once you do the middle pillar, you finish with that, and then you banish everything again because you don't want anything left behind. So what you're basically doing is you're pouring the equivalent of spiritual bleach and just bleaching everything. So there's no leftover energy. Now this really won't matter at this particular time, but once you start actually invoking like elemental energy or planetary energy or what have you, you're basically going to want to clean off any of your excess energy. And this is just teaching you how to do that, or getting you used to. The whole point of this is for you to do this every day, so your body and mind become so used to it that it becomes habit, and it just becomes a part of your life. And once you actually start doing it, then you kind of fix the errors that you're doing, and you learn things that you didn't know, and it's just like an onion. You keep peeling back layers the more you know about it. So once you've did your lesser banishing ritual and banished everything, the last thing you have to do in the neophyte stage is you have to do the neophyte meditation. And that's essentially where for instance, I had like a piece of paper on a wall, and there was like a dot. It's just a dot, one single dot. And all you do is you sit there, and once again, I set my time for like 5 minutes, and you just sit there and you just focus on that dot. You try not to breathe. Try not to, you know what I mean? You try not to move, you focus on the dot. And you're basically just trying to clear your mind, and you're trying to figure out what is the purpose of this meditation. And spoiler alert, it doesn't even really matter if I quote unquote explain what I learned from this meditation, because for me to tell you something and for you to actually get that insight and that spark of realization and that epiphany as all these certain correlations start coming together and you have this spark of realization. But the point of looking at the point is so that you know that everything is a point of of awareness, a point of perspective. Everything begins with the point. You are a point. You are a point of awareness. You are a point of perspective. And everything else after that, nothing else matters before the fact that it all starts with your perspective. So it doesn't matter. And then you think there's other people and they have their perspective. And then you think, well, some people have had a bad childhood, so they've got, you start to realize people have filters around their perspective. And nobody has a pure, holy, divine perspective. Even people that think they do, even the people that say, well, I'll never admit, if I'm wrong, I'll admit that I'm wrong. But if I'm not wrong, I'm not going to admit it. What people don't realize is you may think you're not wrong, and you might still be wrong. Because you are only looking at things from your perspective, your point of view. And the problem is that most people have a fucked up point of view that's been tarnished from the way that they were raised as children and the way that they were brought up and the way that people are in the media. And let's not even get into the fact that there's, all kinds of things working against you to try to keep you in a negative state of mind. But the point of this is it's so that you become aware that in the end, you are the observer. You are not your body. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. You are not anything except the observer. You are just pure observation. You are the point of observation that is seeing the creation of the divine through the eyes, through your perception, through your reality. And the job of you is to clear up all the gunk out of your stuff to make your lens as clear and clean as possible so that you actually have a good, unbiased, balanced, centered point of view. And that is the goal of the neophyte grade. The goal of the neophyte grade is for you to become quiet, for you to be able to focus, for you to get into the habit of meditating and doing ritual every day. And it's for you to open up your centers. It is for you to understand that everything that you see and everything that you feel and everything that you have is merely just what your point of awareness is perceiving. And once you become aware of that, you can work on going from there. And I think the next video, I'll break things down and go into what everything actually is. But this was just kind of the beginning of what the neophyte ritual is. And you basically do that for a year. And you are then ready to move on to the next grade, which is called the Zealotore. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day.